news! SM Entertainment family members bid SHINee's JongHyun farewell for the last time at his funeral procession.
You guys, announcement. Tomorrow there is a live stream for anyone who is feeling emotions and wants to express how they're feeling. All of us sort of share the same interests, and so the live stream is a giveaway for this. And
it's going to be a tribute stream in memoriam of JongHyun, and any donations, any tips that I get are going to be going to a good cause in his memory.
Information about the stream happening tomorrow in the bio. JongHyun from the K-pop group SHINee passed away on December 18th, if you didn't already know, basically due to his depression. The K-pop group SHINee, which is now 4 members without JongHyun, and essentially the rest of the K-pop world, or at least the K-pop community, or people that knew him, held a funeral for JongHyun, and there's a video of it, which has over 3 million views.
I actually find that kind of disturbing, because his family expressed that they wanted it to be private, and that they didn't want to make the funeral proceedings public for everyone, and it ended up everywhere.
We're gonna get to our thoughts in just a moment about where we think SHINee is going or how they're going to proceed in 2018. But I know, at least in this household, we've been completely shook since this news, and I sort of still don't know what to think. Seriously, a lot of emotions have come up, at least for me. I know they have for you too. I want some answers. Like, I want to know what was going on with JongHyun that would push him to this point. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about. Like, for instance, who's next? I say that because we think that we can prevent these things, or we can try to prevent them. And so now everyone's looking at all the clues that JongHyun left us for why he might have gone to this extent where he takes his life. How do you prevent this sort of thing? And how do we find the clues so we can stop the next person, so that way we don't have this happen again?
You said something earlier, which was this was his disease. This was his battle, and this is what happened because of his depression. People, I think, as a society, don't have the mentality that mental illness is really an illness, and and it can be a terminal illness, which ends up leading in death. And Korea is one of these countries. Suicide is so prevalent, and mental health is not there the way that it should be, and it's not supported by the government. They have national health care, but it doesn't cover mental health. And I know that he had been seeing a therapist. There was actually In's therapist he laid blame at JongHyun's therapist, but I don't think that this is a time to be pointing fingers as much as it is a time where can we learn, what can we do to stop this from happening again, because this is actually the second time that this has happened in the last several months.
Taking an extremely close look at his body of work, especially since 2015 when he went solo, he has produced so many tracks on his own. The question for me becomes, did he do this because it filled his heart to make this music, or did he do it because he was contracted to do it? Like, was he, in a way, forced because it was in his contract, especially since 2015, to make a lot of solo music, and therefore he did it because he was getting paid or because he was obligated by law? Or did he do it because he was actually full-on an artist and only an artist first, and all of the contractual shit came after? This is the big question for me.
But to me, I have to say that he probably most likely did it because he's an artist, but I think that there's something to the flawed, tragic artist, where a lot of music, a lot of art comes from your pain deep inside. I know for me, like, part of the reason why I started painting, and I don't want to make this about me, was that I was feeling very sad, and I wanted to make things that were bright and colorful to contrast against my really dark feelings and to try to pull me out of it. And I think that there's something that comes with a lot of creative people being really depressed.
Yeah, you started painting in 2013 when we still lived in Korea. And again, like you said, there's no real mental health support for the vast majority of people there. We came back to the United States. We actually attended therapy a little bit, and I would never normally say that under other circumstances. It's been a secret, or it's just something that we shouldn't mention publicly, but I'm mentioning it because it'll help somebody. I'm sure it will. And it's helped our relationship tremendously, and we got the support we need, and we no longer go there because it was sort of like, well, we're just gonna go to see if we can work it out, and we've sort of worked it out, and we're at a happier place now. I can say that from the bottom of my bowels.
Bowels. But and it's not something that you do and you stop doing. It's health. You have to stay on top of it. And if we need to go back, we will go back.
No, it looks like he went to therapy and it did not help him. And this is sort of the overarching issue in Korean society. I've seen a lot of people comment that Korean society's got to get their shit together, and SM has a little bit of responsibility here too. I can't go to any of those things because we lived there for so long and no place is perfect. Korea has so many good things going for it. I don't want to point the finger and say, oh, Korea needs to work on their mental health. I think everywhere does, and I think maybe in Asia, these things are so embedded in society that it's going to be a little bit harder and it's going to take a little bit longer to work these issues out. But Korea's got a lot of good things going for it. You can't put the issue there. This is something that I don't have the answer to. Like, I just don't have the answer. Like, the more I look into it, the more I'm confused.
Well, part of it is the collective society and the shame culture and not wanting to stand out, not wanting to be different in a negative way or to be seen as sick or less than. But I want to follow that up with, I really hope, the first thing that I really hope is that going forward, a lot of these different artists and family members and people in entertainment, people in this world, start getting more of the help that they need. This was his last plea, his last outcry was, support me, tell me I did well. I think that too often we get extremely hypercritical. I know that even we do here on these videos, because that's what's popular, that's what people click on, that's what people want, is the negativity. And I think it's really important to just applaud people, to appreciate people, to thank them for their hard work and effort, because they really do. They're dedicating their lives. He started entertainment, K-pop, at the age of 15. He did it for 12 years, and after 12 years, he couldn't take it anymore.
It looks like he was overworked a little bit. A lot of them are overworked. This is fact. We know this. But also, he was exactly as you just said. He wanted to be appreciated maybe a little bit more than he was as an artist, and not just appreciated with the money in his bank account for earning from the amount of work that he put out. His last Instagram Live post, which is available as a link on YouTube, has made a lot of traction lately. Obviously, a lot of things that he did, everybody's looking back at it now with more scrutiny or just more attention. He was the most soft-spoken. I mean, I'm gonna start crying and think about it because it looked to me like he was gentle and he just needed a little bit more love and he would still be here, and I think he just got overlooked a little bit too much.
Well, I think that the world, the entertainment world, being popular, being in the spotlight can be very toxic. And people don't want to hear you complain or say anything negative.
And Koreans don't complain. That's another thing about their culture, is they just shut the fuck up when there's any sort of adversity because it's in their culture to do so. So he knows the culture. He followed it to a T.
But I can see that even now, with all of this happening, some people are going to start saying stuff or pointing fingers, and I'm telling you, don't. If people need to take time off of music, take time to get their own selves right, allow them. Support them. Support them if they want to jump right back into it and work really hard, because sometimes, I know for me, when I lost my family member, it was important for me to go back and start working and stay busy, because that's one way that I was able to process through grief. There's a lot of people that are grieving right now. I know some of you are still grieving right now, and that's understandable.
We are, too. I know I am. For the remaining members, Onew, Key, Taemin, and Minho, where does SHINee go from here?
Well, they do have a concert tour that's coming up in February that they're claiming that all the members are still going to participate, which I actually think is probably a good thing. You need to learn to live again.
I initially thought that wasn't a good idea when I heard the concert schedule in February, but as time goes by and I can put myself forward into February, it is going to be a good thing for them to move on and continue with their lives. We all have to continue living, even though tragedy strikes.
Well, and other things that are going on, they do have a Season's Greetings stationery set that's for sale. The last time you're probably going to get it with all the members. All of the remaining members are also acting and doing other things, so they're probably going to be doing something like that in 2018. None of them have served their military service. Maybe they're going to take a break and do that. Maybe they're going to do some philanthropical Is that the right word? Is
Philanthropical?
Philanthropical? Yeah, they're going to do some outreach stuff maybe. I know that all of them have prior experience doing that. I personally right now am grieving more than anybody for Minho because he just finished a drama called The Last Goodbye that it finished airing the day before his friend died, and so I'm wondering if he's going to jump right back into acting. I know Onew this was supposed to be his big return to entertainment after taking some time off for self-reflection.
It's really a difficult time all the way around for anyone who knows what's going on. Comments, your guys' feels, and your reaction a couple days post the actual day that he passed away. It's settling in. It's a little bit more normal, but it'll never be the same. And it's just, I'm still having trouble myself.
And that may always happen. I mean, he will always be remembered.
Click the like button. Thank you for your comments. Click the bell for notifications. Check out the link to Kgal, and don't forget to subscribe for more HallyuBack news. That's it. We're out of here. Hasta luego.
Bye.